90% of the Ukrainian city of Lviv was left without power on Thursday after yet another wave of Russian missile strikes. Air raid sirens sounded over Kyiv again on Thursday night as residents were ordered to shelter from an attack by drones. Hours earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Moscow is driving itself into a dead end. As of this evening, there are power outages in most regions of Ukraine, he said. It is especially difficult in Kyiv and Lviv, Odessa, Kherson, Vinnytsia and Transcarpathia. While 69 Russian rockets targeted energy facilities, Zelensky says the Ukrainian armed forces shot down 54 missiles and overnight destroyed 11 drones. 18 residential buildings were destroyed across the country. In Kyiv alone, 3 private houses were turned to rubble. Moving north, Russia's ally Belarus claims to have shot down an S-300 air defence missile launched from Ukraine's territory. Authorities in Minsk summoned Ukraine's ambassador and have demanded an immediate investigation. If it happens again, Minsk says there could be catastrophic consequences.
Chinese state media have hit out at countries imposing COVID-19 entry restrictions on arrivals from China, calling them discriminatory. State-run tabloid Global Times published an article late on Thursday that said, quote, "The real intention is to sabotage China's 3 years of COVID-19 control efforts and attack the country's system." It comes as South Korea and Malaysia on Friday joined the growing list of places to bring in new measures to tackle concerns over China's surge in COVID-19 infections. Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency Commissioner Ji Yong-mi told a news briefing tests will be required for all arrivals from the neighboring country, while short-term visas will be restricted for Chinese nationals until the end of January.
Until the virus prevention situation is stabilized, it is necessary to refrain from short-term travel from China to South Korea for a while.
Beijing abruptly walked back its zero-COVID policies in early December following an unprecedented flare-up of public anger, leading to a wave of infections across the nation. Citing concerns over the scale of China's outbreak, doubt over its COVID statistics, and fears over new variants emerging, countries such as the US, Italy and India have slapped entry restrictions on its inbound travelers. The situation doesn't seem to have dampened the spirits of Chinese citizens who have lived under harsh controls and not been able to leave the country for almost 3 years now.
I haven't gone abroad to ski for such a long time. I'm a professional skier, so I really can't wait to be able to go abroad and ski again.
But the world's second largest economy is expected to slow down further in the near term as factory workers and shoppers fall ill. According to a Reuters poll on Friday, China's factory activity most likely cooled in December as rising infections began to affect production lines.
Deposed Myanmar leader Aung San Suu Kyi was on Friday convicted on 5 counts of corruption in a junta court and jailed for 7 more years. That's according to a source familiar with her trial but who wished to remain anonymous. The source said the corruption charges were linked to her lease and use of a helicopter while she was Myanmar's de facto leader. A military spokesperson could not be reached for a comment. It wraps up the last remaining cases against the Nobel laureate, held in secretive trials since the military ousted her government in February 2021. Suu Kyi has had at least 26 years of prison time handed to her since last December, without counting her new sentence. Her offences range from breaking COVID-19 rules while campaigning, to incitement, illegally owning radio equipment, to trying to influence the country's election commission. The junta has insisted that the charges are legitimate and that Suu Kyi, who has been detained in the capital Naypyidaw, has been given due process. Western countries have dismissed the trials as a sham, as the military government in Myanmar faces widespread opposition to its rule. Vivienne Westwood, the fashion icon synonymous with 1970s punk rock, a rebelliousness that remained the hallmark of an unapologetically political designer who became one of British fashion's biggest names, died on Thursday at the age of 81. Her fashion house tweeted that she died peacefully surrounded by family in South London. Climate change, pollution and the support for WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange were all fodder for protest t-shirts or banners carried by her models on the runway.
I just use my fashion as an excuse to say what I think about politically and culturally. But I do think that fashion does do something. I think my fashion gives you an incredible choice in an age of conformity, and it makes you look great, and it helps you to express your individuality.
Instantly recognizable with her orange or white hair, Westwood first made a name for herself in punk fashion in 1970s London, dressing the punk rock band that defined the genre, the Sex Pistols. Often looking to history, her influential designs have included corsets, Harris tweed suits, and taffeta ball gowns. Westwood used her public profile to champion issues, including nuclear disarmament and to protest against anti-terrorism laws and government spending policies that hit the poor. She joined protests and frequently turned her models into catwalk eco-warriors.
Because I'm so traumatised by the shock of understanding what's going to happen if the earth gets hotter. And that in a couple of generations, billions of people will die unless we do something now.
The Westwood brand flourished in the 1990s, with fashionistas flocking to her runway shows in Paris and stores opening around the world selling her lines, accessories and perfumes. Westwood was inducted into Britain's establishment in 1992 by Queen Elizabeth II, who awarded her the Order of the British Empire Medal.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was sworn in for a sixth time on Thursday. Together with his ultra-nationalist and ultra-Orthodox coalition partners, he is forming the most religious and hardline government in the country's history. Left-leaning critics warn the rights of minorities are on the line, and it could deepen tensions with Palestine. First of all, stop Iran, he said. This is an existential question. We care about existence and security. Second, to restore security and governance within the State of Israel. Third thing, take care of the cost of living and the housing crisis. The fourth thing, and I believe it is also within reach, is to dramatically expand the circle of peace. Israeli settlers in occupied West Bank are satisfied with the new government, while Palestinians have voiced fears. This man says under the upcoming Israeli fascist government, the Palestinian people must unite with one heart. This fascist Israeli government is adept to oppressing and destroying the Palestinian people. While this man says our expectations are that the Torah will be strengthened in the land of Israel, that settlements and governance will grow stronger. These are mainly my expectations. While settlements in the West Bank are considered illegal under international law, the new coalition says, quote, Jewish people have an exclusive and unquestionable right to all areas of the land of Israel.